everyone is looking at Nico Iamaleava and talking about his athletic ability, his off-platform throws, his strong arm, his accuracy, good touch, the ability to run, keep plays alive. I see that's what everybody's going on and on about, and for good reason. I think we all expect that. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. But there were so many people this week. Let's do some quotes here. Let me go ahead and put these graphics up here. Josh Heupel. With Nico, as a young player, reporters give me a lot of questions about him as a leader. Well, he's phenomenal in communication in one-on-one situations and in small groups, but he's taking more and more ownership within our entire offense and within our football team. And when you talk to Cooper Mays about Nico, he said what makes him a great leader for us is just how he acts. For a guy that had all the things he had going on, especially coming out of high school, I don't know that I would have come in very humble and ready to learn. But he's done a great job of taking everything in stride. People respect that. Nico is really a good guy. Keenan Peely, a veteran on the team. A lot of people think he's young, but there's a full team surrounding him that looks at him as a leader. Even just this spring, you saw his growth as a leader, but the talent has always been there for Nico. True or false, his brain and attitude are going to be more important than his much hyped arm and much hyped legs. True or false?
I'm going to go false. I think it's mobility. And what I kept thinking of was the assets Hendon Hooker had in this offense and how much better it was with the plays, unscripted plays he made with his feet. That's what I see that Nico can bring. So, I mean, all the other things, he's got all the attributes. But I think at the end of the day, the mobility to get outside the pocket and make accurate throws is what I think is the big thing for him.
I do think it's his brain. I think that it's his ability to process information incredibly quickly, because if this offense doesn't run at tempo, then you just have a really base high school, maybe middle school level offense if you don't run at tempo in this.
Everybody says it's a simple offense. It becomes very simple if you're not going 100 miles an hour.
So you have to go tempo. So for me, it's more about Nico throwing, because Joe couldn't make the on-platform throws. I don't care about your off-platform throws. How often do you do that? You're going to throw 25 times from the pocket. Nico can do that, and he can make the quick decision of when does he run, when does he throw, where does he need to have the ball, and you can run at the tempo you need to, which helps out your running game, which then helps out your deep passing game.
Ryan.
I think it's his brain. I think that's more important, but it's because I would say that with almost any quarterback. I think it's all about processing. That's such a mental position. When we rate quarterbacks, and we've struggled with this as a recruiting industry, I think, for years. The physical talent is there with so many guys, but it all comes down to, can they get everything right? Can you make the right decisions when
Stetson Bennett,
when everybody's coming at you? And Nico is going to be no different for him. He's got all the talent in the world physically. He can run, and that helps him. That's a big advantage. But if he can't make the right decisions, none of that's going to matter, as we saw with Joe Milton sometimes.
Boy, do I want to Cavaliers this question, because
let's hear the Cavaliers thing first, then I'll tell you. Then I'll make a ruling.
Okay, the Cavaliers thing of it is both.
Yeah.
You need to be
No,
able
I
to
don't like it.
process and make the accurate throws down the field. Look,
Overruled.
Those quotes from Heupel and Cooper Mason and Keenan Peely of how he handles people, especially in the one-on-ones, that's what we saw in practice. Practices were so different than Joe Milton, where he would throw a pass and then he was hyping guys or dancing or just trying to motivate, where Nico is talking to his receiver afterwards and all about business and getting better as individuals. So that stuff is important. And then, I don't know if this factors in brain, it factor. That, to me, is the tiebreaker between all those talents, the accuracy down the field, all that kind of stuff, the legs. But the it factor for him, to me, was what would sway me a little bit in that direction
as
I get out of it.
Yeah, that's I'm on brain side, so I'm switching that to brain.
That's
it
why
counts as brain.
It takes me over to that side.
Yeah. It equals brain. Sorry, Chuck, you're on your own. I'm going brain. And Joe Milton. The answer is Joe Milton. That's the reason for the answer. Yes, I think that Nico is going to be able to keep plays alive, and I think that's a great thing. But didn't we see Joe Milton a few times just run like a bat out of hell? He looked great at times. Had the first play of the game against two that was the long touchdown run last year.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So, but the point is, there were also times when he would step out of bounds, short of a first down. So, brain, he could run. He didn't like to run that much. Now, they said he liked to get hit. I don't buy that. He didn't like to run that much. In terms of arm, you'll never find a better arm than Joe Milton. He just wasn't very accurate with it, which comes back to brain. So to me, brain is going to be more important than
Mobility.
legs or arm.
Whether to keep or pull it on his own read, whether to,
Right.
which
Absolutely.
receiver to throw to.
Get
it's
him in
all
the right
on
run play.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's also times on this offense where you're not going breakneck speed too, right? Tennessee
Hopefully
doesn't have a
not.
4-minute offense. It's stand there and let the clock
I
tick.
want it to be breakneck.
And then we're going to run a play.
Hendon Hooker, he saved their backside on some plays too. So that escapability is a factor.
Yeah, but I think that's a factor, certainly. And I'm not downplaying his arm or his legs, but it's knowing when to use them and how to use
Yeah.
them.
Right.
You had a guy, the hype when Joe Milton got here was he can do it all. And we saw you got to be able to do it all and know when to do it and
At the
how
right
to do
time,
it.
yeah.
And if you don't have that,
Then you're completing 20% of your passes at 20 yards downfield or more.
And the
Yeah.
brain brings trust from the coaches too. Just throw a little.
Yep.
all right. When we come back, Neyland Stadium ranked the 10th best stadium in the country by ESPN. Let's talk about that list. I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about it. Come on back. We'll talk about it. Where Neyland Stadium ranked